Hi. Um, how can I say this? Um, Basically, I wanted to tell you a bit about Joe Longthorne, really, and why I, as I am known as Gary, how I became Johnny Shiver. And it was all. This is a tribute to Joe, and it was in 1981. I was sat down with my parents, and we were watching Search for a Star, and this amazing blonde guy comes on, and it was uncanny. The voices that he did, it were brilliant. Honestly, it was, and he just the voices he did sounded so much like the people that it was impersonating. Closed your eyes, you think it were him, and his voice, I was just astounded. I just wanted to see him more. I really did. And I started to follow him. I went into papers and magazines and stuff like that to try and find Joe. I really wanted to know more about it. I was hoping he was going to be on again. And it was from that day when I saw him and I thought, I wanna. This is what I want to do. I just want to sing. I'd already started like impersonating and doing songs by standing in front of the mirror and doing that. And yeah, so this is what I wanted to do. So I went on trying to find all these magazines and with him in and just wanting to see him again. And then this ITV special came up, and it was Joe Longthorne. And I went, oh, Mum, he's back, he's back, he's back. Really excited. And I just sat and watched him in awe. It was just fantastic. I'd never felt that much about, somebody. It was a Yorkshireman as well. It's from Hull, so he's a Yorkshireman like me, and it was just brilliant. And it just made me want to sing more, and I just practiced more and more and more, and tried doing his songs and everything, and just trying to follow him and things like that. And I wanted him to be on all these shows and stuff like that. And then he had his own half-hour show on Yorkshire television on ITV, and I just watched. I didn't miss any. Oh, it was just amazing. When he did Judy Garland, I couldn't believe it. It was brilliant. And Shirley, oh wow, it was just awesome. It was just awesome. And anyway, when it come to time for me to leave school, I knew what I wanted to do. I'd been to Butlins before, and I knew I wanted to be in entertainment, so I wanted to be a redcoat. So I went for this job at Butlins, and they found out I could sing. So my manager said, oh, we'll put you up on stage with Blue Moon. And I started doing impersonations of Elvis and Tom and stuff like that. And I met my wife by doing Tom, because I was up on stage as Tom. And I did it like, I just did it like Joe used to do it, how he used to do, oh yeah, and all that. And because it were all, I just wanted to be like him in so many ways. And anyway, my wife, who was out with her family, she came, she had a bit to drink, and she kept running up to the stage screaming because I was Tom Jones. And I got to know her and stuff like that. We're married now. We've been together 30 years. We're both big Joe Longthorne fans. And we followed him. After I left Butlins, we just followed him. We went to see him nearly every time we could. And but I want to tell you a really great story that I told Dave, Redcoat Dave. And it was fantastic. I went with my mum and dad. This was the first time I ever encountered Joe. I went with mum and dad to Blackpool every year, and I know I'm going back, but it's like time slip. And I went to see him on North Pier, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, fantastic. And anyway, next day I was walking up here with mum and dad, and anyway, Joe's walking down with all his group or whoever with, and I went, Joe, and Anyways, he came up to me and I had these chips in my hand, and he nicked the chip. He always does that. He did that on his video in Blackpool. He always nicked our chips. Brilliant man. And anyway, I just said, oh, I just love you, man. I really do. I just love you. And I said, can I have your autograph? And he just gave that amazing smile that he always had. And he signed this bit of paper. I got this bit of paper out of my mum's handbag, and he signed it, and he went on his way. I just watched him walk away, and that was to meet him, and what a nice bloke, what a utter nice bloke he was, and typical Yorkshireman. And anyway, like I was saying, I left Butlins, and but I continued my singing. I continued doing like I joined this amateur theatre group, and but in '97 things took a turn for the worst. My strokes got worse. I'd already had one at 24 before I'd gone down to Butlins, and the doctor said it was going to affect my voice, and I was really worried about that because I loved singing. I really did. And anyway, I went away to Scarborough in it was 90 something, 97, 96, 97 or something like that. And Joe was on at Futurist Theatre, and we went there, and afterwards I got to meet him, and man, he's just fantastic to see him. He's even more good looking, as you know, as Joe fans, in real life than he is on TV. He's got this aura about him. This aura around him is absolutely amazing. And while I was talking to him, though, unfortunately, I collapsed. But this is where I felt Joe's empathy and knew him, because he got his people to get me a chair, and I wasn't feeling very well. I collapsed, and basically while they were waiting for the ambulance to come, he just talked to me, and I told him how I wanted to be like, and told him I was a singer and everything, and what the doctors had said about my voice, and he just said to me, "Don't look back, look forward, don't look back," and that's why I fight on, and that's why I do what I do today. We've seen him in so many times after that. We just followed him. Me and my wife just followed him, and we went to meet him loads of times, wherever. I mean, I've even followed him up to Scotland. We went away to Hawaii Santi, and we followed him to Scotland, and he met me there. Always recognised me, brilliant. Never forgot me, and that's what I loved about Joe. He never forgets you, and that's what, as a fan, that's why he's loved by so many people, and by all of them on group here. That's why he's loved. The man, he's a legend in my eyes. He's everything. He's got voice, looks, his impersonations, but I mean, very humble man. And he was a big star, but he was just Joe, and he'll always be just Joe. And that's why I've continued, and this is why I fight on. If you want to know why I fight on, and I know I've had a lot of people say, you can't sing and stuff like that. But it was Joe that just told me to keep. And when I met him in Rotherham, it wasn't. It was quite recent, really. And he recognised me, and I spoke to him, and I told him, and he said, "You can either lay down and die, or you can get up and fight, and carry on singing, and just do it, mate." And it was great, just Joe. So that's why I wanted to share this with you. This is not me singing. This is me just letting you guys know how much we all love just Joe.